In the early 1400s, France was a nation on the brink of collapse. For over 80 years, the country had been torn apart by the 100 Years' War with England. The people of France were desperate for hope. Little did they know that salvation would come from the most unlikely of heroes, a young peasant girl who would rise to lead an army and change the course of history. Joan was born in 1412 in the small village of Domremy. She was just a simple peasant girl, living a quiet life with her family. But from a young age, Joan knew she was different. Joan of Arc's journey began with a simple belief, that one person, no matter how young or humble, could change the world. If you're inspired by stories of courage, leadership, and those who dared to make history, make sure to subscribe to History Be Inspired. We bring you incredible stories of people who shaped the world. Every week at the age of 13, Joan began hearing voices. She believed they were messages from saints. These voices told her something incredible, that she was chosen by God to save France and to lead the Dauphin, the future King Charles VII, to victory. It was a calling beyond anything she could have imagined. Joan was a teenage girl with no military experience. And yet, she believed with all her heart that she could fulfill this divine mission. Despite her humble background and the doubt she faced, Joan was determined to act on her calling. She convinced a local commander to take her to the court of Charles VII, the rightful heir to the French throne. But convincing Charles would not be easy. When Joan arrived at the Dauphin's court, many doubted her. How could a teenage girl lead an army? But Joan's conviction was undeniable. She spoke with such passion and certainty that Charles was moved. He gave her what no one expected, a suit of armor, a sword, and command of an army. Joan's first major challenge came at the siege of Orléans, a city that had been under English control for months. Many believed it was an impossible battle to win. But Joan wasn't afraid. Riding at the front lines, Joan carried a banner instead of a sword, telling her troops, "In the name of God, we shall prevail." Her courage was infectious. The soldiers, who once doubted her, were now filled with hope. In just 9 days, Joan and her army broke the siege and liberated Orléans. It was a stunning victory, one that would change the momentum of the war. With nothing but her faith and a banner, Joan led her army to a stunning victory, inspiring hope in a time of despair. If Joan's courage and resilience inspire you, don't forget to like and share this video with others who love stories of bravery and determination. Joan's victory at Orléans made her a national hero. Her name spread like wildfire across France. She led the French forces to several more victories, each one bringing the country closer to freedom. But Joan's mission was not yet complete. Joan believed her true mission was to see Charles VII crowned King of France. In July 1429, she led him to the city of Reims, where he was officially crowned in a grand ceremony. Joan had fulfilled her divine mission. Despite her victories, Joan's journey was far from over. In 1430, she was captured by the Burgundians and sold to the English. Her enemies saw her as a threat, both to their armies and to their authority. Joan was put on trial for heresy and witchcraft. Her captors claimed she was a fraud, a girl who had no right to speak to God. But Joan, even in captivity, never wavered in her faith or her mission. Despite relentless questioning and the threat of death, Joan remained steadfast. She told her judges, "I was sent by God, and I will return to God." On May 30, 1431, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. She was just 19 years old. But in death, Joan became more than a soldier, she became a martyr, a symbol of courage, faith, and unshakable conviction. 25 years after her death, Joan was declared innocent of all charges. And in 1920, almost 500 years later, she was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Today, Joan of Arc stands as a beacon of hope and inspiration for people around the world. Joan of Arc's story is one of unparalleled bravery. She showed the world that no matter your background, your age, or your gender, one person can change the course of history. Joan's unwavering belief in her mission teaches us that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to act despite it. So, what mission will you fight for? How will you change the world? Joan of Arc's legacy lives on, reminding us that one person, with enough courage and belief, can truly make history. If you believe in the power of resilience and determination, Hit subscribe and join us on History Be Inspired as we continue to explore the incredible lives of those who changed the world.